What's up YouTube? For tonight's video, we have a full Pyukumuku team. Man, this was really painful. This team was mean. So I had to use 6 Pyukumuku, and the only offensive or attacking moves that this Pokemon actually gets are Bide and Counter. Both of these moves only work under exceptional situations too, so this was a very difficult team to actually pull off or even get a remotely decent battle with. So sit back, relax, and I've got some really good ones for you. If you do want to battle me, people, you can. I accept battles on my chat at a random time each day. Their link is in the description of the video. If you want to try out some of your own theme teams, or you want to battle some less mainstream people, go ahead, and everyone is welcome. Right, this battle was absolutely hilarious. Probably one of the best battles I got with this team. So, leading off with Pyukumuku, bet you never saw that one coming. And we have a Latios using Dracometer, which is going to one-shot me, unfortunately, so that wasn't very nice. So that's going to take me out. I'm going to get the innards out. I was actually running max health, so that's going to take out the Latios as well. So on all of my Pyukumukus, there was a decision to run innards out or unaware. Most of the time, I was thinking innards out would be best, so I usually ran for that ability. So now we have Tapu Koko swapping in my trap. Now I'm going to be able to explain these sets a lot more in depth as the battle goes on, and in the second battle too, because this first one, believe it or not, was quite quick. So anyway, so we got the Tapu Koko going for Tapu Koko going for the T-Bolt, which is going to one-shot my next Pyukumuku, and I'm going to get an innards out kill. So the battle is sort of going really quick at the moment, and it's got a great ability with innards out. What innards out does, if you don't know, it say my Pyukumuku has a set amount of health, it'll do that damage back as the last damaging move to the opponent. So say I've got, on the screen here for example, I've got 162 health. So if I get one-shotted, that'll do 162 damage to the opponent. So now we have a Hawlucha, which is going to have the Electric Seed boosting its defense by 1 stage, obviously running with the Tapu Koko. Unfortunately, this is actually a Bide set. I quite like the nickname on this. Is sort of cheesy Bide your time. So I had the Bide up on it. Unfortunately, it's going to be able to set up on me, and there's nothing I can do. I can't swap out. When you choose the move Bide, you're locked in for 2 turns before you're able to swap. Right, so Hawlucha is going to go for yet a third Sword Dance. There's nothing I can do to this thing. It's got like an amazing amount of attack now, and it's a huge threat. However, on this set, I did have innards out again. It's going to use Acrobatics. Obviously, I saw that with Electric Seed, and we're going to get another. So that was 3 innards out kills in a row. So this battle is going absolutely wild at the moment. There's nothing I can do. I can't even use my strategies at the moment. All right, so the electricity is going to disappear from the field. Now we have the Mimikyu coming out. Now, I've lost half my team already. However, they have lost half too. So Clay was usually my lead on this team. Actually, this one I didn't actually opt to lead with this time. I'll go more into the set in a second. So now we have the Mimikyu using a Z move. It's going to be the Normalium Z Z Splash. So once again, I'm faced with versing like a really powerful Pokemon, and I can't really do too much to it. Especially with only Bide and Counter as the offensive move. So I've got a Light Clay user setting up the Light Screen, which is going to make Light Screen last for 8 turns rather than 5. And now we have the Mimikyu using the Play Rough, which is going to one-shot my next Pyukumuku. So that's 4 innards out kills in a row. So Mimikyu is going to go down. I'm going to go down. I can't do anything. I'm getting swept, but my ability is actually saving me in this battle. So now we have the Bisharp coming out, and we have my most offensive Pyukumuku. There is another one, but this is probably my most offensive one. So this is, I actually used this a long while ago. This was my Viridian Z Pyukumuku. I called it Shrek because usually it can Shrek things with its mighty attack. On this set, I'll actually be able to explain the set this time. So I've got... Sorry about this. I've got Psych Up Swagger, obviously, to boost the opponent's attack. Then copy the stats back with Psych Up. Then go for the Z Counter, which is like the only offensive move that I could use with the Z Crystal, obviously. In this case, I just went for the Z Counter because it was 4 times super effective. I actually got a kill with it, which was awesome. So I finally actually took a Pokemon out, apart from using my own ability or like Toxic Stalling or something like that. So the last Pokemon I got is the Tapu Bulu, which is another really threatening Pokemon against my entire team. There's nothing I can do. All I can go for is the Swagger. It's going to go for a Horn Leech, which is going to like one-shot me. Like any of my Pokemon are going to get one shot of that. On Trek, I do have innards out as well, so that's going to do lots of damage to that. So I've got one more Pyukumuku left. On this set, I'm trying to think what set it was. It doesn't actually matter because I know that I'm going to get outsped by this thing. Oh, I know what set this is. This is the Assault Vest Struggle set. So I deliberately wanted Pyukumuku to use Struggle, so I put Assault Vest on it, and it's going to one-shot me with the Horn Leech. No! So down goes my Pyukumuku. The Tapu Bulu gets some recovery back from Horn Leech, almost taking it to full health. I've got my innards out, and guess what? It takes it out too. So that was actually a draw. Like, I didn't even do anything for most of the battle. But innards out actually enabled me to take out their entire team. Fortunately for them, they KO'd me first, so they ended up winning the battle. But man, I just thought I'd include that one because that was a very funny battle. Thanks for the battle, George. Next battle we have on my chat is against Jake. So we got a much more in-depth look at my team. But I thought I'd include that battle because it was just so wild and it was like the shortest battle I had with this team. All the battles I had, right, were between 40 to 50 plus turns. Right, so I'm going for a Reflect on this one against a Shedinja in case it tries to set up on me. It's going to go for Protect. It's got a Toxic Orb. Like, I was like, okay, that's strange. Maybe it's going to try and get... It has to get rid of that with Trick, right? But instead, it's going to go for the Leech Life. I was like, that's interesting. That's not going to do any damage to me because I'm running a fairly bulky set. I'll go over what this set was. This was a Reflect light screen set, obviously with Light Clay. I've got Recover and Memento on this. So the idea is to set up my screens and usually just Memento out or just Recover off and use it for innards out damage later on. So I'm not sure where they were going with that Shedinja set. Maybe they can enlighten me in the comment section. So they're going to bring in their Lapras, and of course Sheer Cold is... of course it's going to hit and take me out. Not that it really mattered too much. I got some nice innards out damage, and I was going for Memento anyway, so Lapras has a lot of health, so that doesn't do too much for it. Now, I thought I could bring in Shrek here and go for the Fight EMZ counter and take this out, or I could risk going for the Swagger and psych it up. However, I just went for the Z move to try and get rid of it. However, Sheer Cold is going to hit for the second time in a row, and Shrek is going to get Shreked. So that's both of my Pyukumukus out. Innards out doing more damage. I love innards out. I ran out on all my Pokemon. I thought it was better than Unaware, especially running, well, probably running this kind of team. It was more useful because I couldn't, number one, I couldn't do much damage at all bar my Z move. And yeah, that was the main reason. And even if I got set up on right, I could just throw a couple of these in and innards out would do the work. So now we have Camera Up just going for Explosion right off the bat. There's like, okay, that's interesting. It's going to do a lot of damage to my Pyukumuku, not, and that's going to take itself out. So I was like, I'm wondering what kind of set that was. This was my Assault Struggle set, so I didn't get to actually use Assault Vest Struggle, but don't worry, people, I get to use it now. So now we have the Electros coming in. Some of their sets, I was wondering what they were trying to. I'm not sure what they were trying to achieve with the Shedinja, especially that. I was thinking they definitely had Trick for that one. I actually remember using that on my Illogical Moves team. I had someone was like, "Oh, use Toxic Orb Shedinja," so I put Trick on it to get rid of it. So anyway, we have the Electros. It's going to be setting up the Hone Claws. Now this is what I was talking about before. If I had an Unaware set, all these boosts wouldn't. They're actually kind of lucky that I don't have an Unaware set because all those, all those boosts actually wouldn't be meaning anything. So I went for the Assault Vest to Struggle. It's doing so much damage, guys. Basically, I wanted to actually do an attacking move outside of Z Counter or Bide. You could go for Normalium Z as well, but I decided to go for the Z Counter. Now, I actually had 2 Z Crystals on Pyukumuku, depending on which one I actually used in the battle. Right, so anyway, I'm going to go down to the Struggle damage. That's Pyukumuku down, Reflect wears off. Now we've got Bide Your Time. I have been biding my time, and I want to swap this one in. So I'll give you the full rundown on what this set was. This was a... Obviously, it had Bide, it had Block. So block the opponent in first. And obviously, you've got Taunt in this set. So you want to make them attack you, so go for Taunt. And use Bide. Bide's got that little nice priority at the start there. And obviously, you're trapping them in, making them attack you, and hoping to get the Bide off. I've also got Recover on this set too, and Rocky Helmet. So we have their Gigavolt Impact, and I don't think that came for a physical move. I think that came for a special move because it didn't probably do enough damage. So I went for the Taunt on the Electros. The light screen's going to wear off. That's why I thought that it was coming from a special move, even though they use Hone Claws. So I went for the Bide here, hoping they're going to go for that move again, and they're going to go for a Drain Punch. Drain Punch does way too much damage, so Bide is not going to... I'm not going to be able to get Bide off. The problem about Bide is you got to wait all those turns while you get attacked. And, if you get set up on, you basically... That's it. You can't do anything else. So Pyukumuku is going to go for the Unleash Energy next turn. So as I thought, they did have a special move. It was Zap Cannon. So they had Drain Punch and Zap Cannon. So obviously Hone Claws boosting the accuracy of Zap Cannon and boosting the power of any physical type move the Electros did have. So that's 4 Pokemon down. I got a little bit of in and out damage, so that's not too bad. So bringing in my not so nice. Now this was my other Z move user. So on this set, right, I couldn't actually use it this time. This was a Toxic Purify set with Poisium Z. Poisium Z, actually, when you use the Z move, right, it does the same as getting like an Ancient Power boost, and obviously it cures the status of the opponent on the other side of the field. Now, Purify is quite an interesting move. It's quite redundant. If the opponent has like a status, you can use Purify, right? It'll heal their status and then heal you for 50%. Health damage back. So that's pretty good. But you can always use Recover. So it's sort of like a pointless move, but I want to use it, and I want to use it with the Z Crystal too. Anyway, so I got the poison up on the Electros. I was hoping this thing didn't have any way of getting rid of that poison, like Rest or something, because that'd be a big problem. I didn't think it would, because it had Hone Claws and all the Drain Punches happening to get all its health back. So pretty much here, I just had to wait till this Electros went down to the poison. Now, another counter I had against me was Electric-type Pokemon. So I had Mud Sport on this too. I thought that'd be a good option. So I had Toxic, Purify, Mud Sport, and Recover. Now, the EV spreads on this I had were Max Health, and I just split the defenses. That's it. On all of my basically had Max Health, I believe. I think one of them I didn't, but that was like split defenses on that. So all of them I really wanted to run Max Health because obviously because of In and Out. Right, so this Electros is starting to take a lot of damage from the Toxic. I just have to swap out a couple of my Pokemon here because I've got so many options. It's going to go for another Hone Claws, which is going to boost the attack and accuracy. Now, I just had to go for Recover. I had no options here. Now, this is why the battles went for so long, right? I had a lot of my Pokemon had Recover, right? The best, once I'd finish using Z-Counter or Bide or Assault Vest Struggle, I could really only go for Toxic and Recover, right? So it was very, very difficult, and obviously that caused the really long battles. So now the Electros is going to come in. I cannot survive another hit. I'm just going to take it out and get some in and out damage, and leave my Pikumuki for last, so I can try and take the rest of the team out. So I get the full in and out damage from the Pikumuki, which is going to be enough to take out the Electrite. So the thing about in and out, right? Say you only have a little bit of health left, like say they fail to one-shot you. The in and out will only work on the last hit taken. So you basically need to get one-shotted, or you need to take a lot of damage, which will feint you for in and out to do a lot of damage to the opponent. So anyway, with the second last Pokemon we have the Dusknoir, and it uses Toxic. I'm like, oh no, this is bad. So I get the Toxic up on the Dusknoir, which is good. I know this is probably going to have Pain Spit. However, I do have Recover. So I'm going to speed this part up just a little bit because it was quite long. So anyway, the Dusknoir is obviously going to go for the Toxic. Now, I went for the Soak. On this set, this is probably my best, most reliable set on my whole team. This had Soak and Block. So obviously Ghost types, you can't trap in with Block because it's a normal type move. So I went for the Soak, and Steel types, if you can't poison them, you go for the Soak as well. And Block traps them in so they cannot swap. Toxic racks up in damage. I've also got Recover on this set too. So it works rather nicely. Obviously it's not infallible, but it's definitely probably one of the best sets on my team, and you can do some serious stalling out with the set, apart from if you get poisoned like I am now. So anyway, we have the interesting going for the Rock side, maybe like a flinching set, I'm not sure. So one more is going to take out the Dusknoir, and then again I'm getting very close to going down myself too. So going for my final Recover against the Dusknoir. Dusknoir is just going to live again. Oh man, this bit went for a long while too. So going for my another Recover there, I was on 41 health, nearly taking me out, and the Dusknoir finally goes down after all that time. So we still have one more Pokemon left. Now, what I wanted to do here is get enough health back for the Pokemon to actually take itself out with in and out, and maybe try and force a draw. However, it's going to be a while, and that's going to be be able to outspeed me, and I'm not going to be able to do anything to that at all. I've taken too much damage from the Toxic, and I go for a final recovery, but there was nothing I could do. That is game. I hope you guys enjoyed both these battles. Man, it was such a difficult team, but it was very fun in the process trying to make such a stagnant move pool work. Don't go away. You've got to watch this bonus battle, people. It is wild. Peace.